So something I realized after a dream last night is that I don't have to wait to get to the things I need to get to, such as the stretches, the knowledge, because I've been doing this for years. I want to say since 2015, 2016. And so I know at least relatively what works for my body and what I can do. And so stopping myself from sharing that knowledge or acting as if I don't know what I'm doing makes no sense. And so, with that being said, my stretch sessions will now be more geared toward what it is that I want to do. And also, I won't be so scared to move because that's the other thing. Is you get scared to move, you get older, and you're like, oh, that hurts. But if I let pain be a deterrent for anything, then I'm never going to get anything done because pain is just extreme discomfort. That's all. And so I'm going to stretch. If you hear me humming or singing, just know that that helps me breathe. I learned that in jujitsu. My instructor, he would hum while he was rolling with us. And it was very interesting. I asked him why he did that, and he told me that it helps him breathe. And I find that it does for me too. Oof, I don't know if y'all heard that, but that felt good. The first one's always so difficult. Okay, we can get knuckles down. Good, good. And lean forward a little bit for more of a stretch. I realize I have a bit of popping in my hip and my knee. That's likely from the driving I do all the time, which is something I'm trying to fix because I would rather not go through my day with pain or stop myself from doing something because it hurts so much. Hip openers are the best thing to do in the morning, as well as any leg exercises. You've been laying on your back, your spine has been twisted in weird ways, and you don't want to hurt yourself when you get up. Just trying to touch your toes. I'm not actually leaning on my leg when I do that. Just let my hand kind of glide down. I always use that as a marker. So how far I'm going. I have tattoos on my ankles, so my goal is to touch those and then the floor, if that's humanly possible, at least. It's always good to have goals, though. Yes, I do have a dress on. It is easier to stretch um, without so many restrictive clothing. I find so shorts that are kind of short, which kind of sucks because it makes it hard to post, or tank tops, or sometimes just sports bras are the go-to for me. I find that those things are actually the least restrictive piece of clothing. Ooh, it's warm in here. Moving my way. Yeah. Oh. Love me some Gallup. My goal for this stretch is to be able to put my face between my feet. I used to be able to, and I stopped stretching. Now we're back. Well, not at square one, but we definitely at square four. I'm getting there. Not that far. I hold this one quite long because what I'm doing is I'm gradually pushing myself further. So I say I count 15 or 5 seconds, go down further, another five, go down further, another five, go down further, and hold there for another five, and then come up. I find that that helps me to get further the next time. So the next time I do it, I'm marginally closer. See, I've started here now. That's about my stopping point for today. And that's okay. I won't say for today, just for this moment. Go ahead and roll our necks. And so I do have scoliosis. It's not exactly the scoliosis that is like you're born with it and your spine is all twisted. I've been told that if I work my muscles in my back, that they will push my spine together in a more straight position, which theoretically it has happened when I was a bit smaller and I was working in a warehouse. So we all know how much work you have to do in there and how much you have to put you back into the work. So I did find release in from the constant back pain I was having, but now I don't work in the warehouse, and I need to find other avenues in which that aren't going to be so strainful on my back to be able to strengthen it without hurting myself. But the stretches help me to loosen up the muscles so that they're not so bunched all the time because that's the problem. Cinnamon curl, I just wanna show you. Well, if you've ever got that crick in your lower back and you're trying to get it out, this is what's being stretched right now. My lower back on the side of my hip, as well as going up into my shoulder. Be careful with this stretch, though. You can cause yourself issues if you do it the wrong way. I'm leaned directly over my knee, looking toward my knee, and bringing my head down. If you need to, take the hand that's over next to it and pull. That'll deepen the stretch. Feels really good too. I always try to do a two goes, so it's not just one on either side. Get a deeper stretch. I'm gonna pull this one down. Oh, that felt good. Okay, so that one I could feel in my neck up here. I've been having a little bit of pain up here too. You feel it right in the back of your neck in that curve. I have a lot of bunched muscles in my neck as well because of all the strain from my back. Um, I don't hunch my back a lot, like I don't curl over, but I do. I am heavy chested, so it is what it is. No other way to say that. Actually, I wonder if I can. Nah, it's fine. See, now now I'm getting deeper into this stretch, and this is pulling, but also inside my thighs are as well. I'm gonna push these down. Oh, and my hip just popped. That's good. Try and keep your back as straight as possible without pulling your legs up. Relax the hips and or sit up straight and use the arms as weights. So you don't want to push with the weight. Allow that right angle to cause the weight to go down. The more you lean your arms forward, the more they're going to push. What I mean by that is the more your wrist goes into a right angle, the more it's going to push down without you actually using force to push them down. The leverage type of thing. Tell me things that you've done. Lovely. Ooh, my hips. All right, let's get these feet stretched, ankles, all that jazz. I'm gonna scooch back to this wall so I can get my arms as well. Those are my torture devices, unfortunately. So my arms get a lot of pain going through them, specifically because my wrists are no longer as flexible as they used to be. I used to have a right angle, and now it's more acute. Aside from this hand, my right hand does a lot of work, so my left is more flexible. I also end up sleeping with this arm. If I end up laying on it, my hand goes into this position here, which is unhealthy because I wake up with pain in my wrist. My husband tends to flip my hand around while I'm sleeping, but stretches like this will help. I really do need to do a couple of these before I get my arm on that wall because it will hurt. And yet again, I say pain is not a deterrent, it is just extreme discomfort. Look at you too. Just because one is more flexible than the other doesn't mean that you go ahead and say, all right, well, you're good. What's going to happen is one of them's going to surpass the other. Then you'll be back at square one, taking more attention on the one side than the other. This one is probably the best for stretching your wrists. It doesn't cause too much tension, and it allows you to hold a position. Now, the goal from this stretch here is that when you release, your hands are already they're staying in that right angle. So right now, I'm not. One side is closer. This one would be my left, but my right can't. So we hold. Sometimes I open the fingers to stretch more. Make sure they're all pressed against each other. And then we push down on one wrist, like so. Palm to back of hand. Keep those fingers as tight as possible. And by tight, I mean straight. We won't give up and won't stop. And don't move up and won't leave. All right, I'm too close. There we go. Ooh. Hey. Mm. On the left side doesn't usually hurt that much, but actually that's getting better. That actually didn't hurt as much as it usually does. It also could be that I'm distracted, but hey, distractions are good when you're dealing with discomfort. Hey. Mm. Try to keep those fingers as flat to the wall as you can too. Oof. And keep your arm as straight as possible. But the taste of your poison, sweet, so sweet. Won't give up, and I won't up and go. I don't know how. Won't give up, and I won't up and go. Time enough. Always do 2 cycles. You can do 3 with this one. See if you all feel the difference. Also, try and face your chest toward the wall in front of you. That's the main goal for good flexibility in the shoulders. Now, if you're trying to be a bone breaker, your arms can be all the way on the other side. And I'm not going to explain that. But we ain't bone breaking right here. We just want some flexibility in the arms. Okay, arms up. Take the elbow and pull it down. Lovely. The same with the other arm. Relax the back and shoulder. There you go. Release, shake it, and then go back. One more round. And switch. Okay, arms up to the sky. All right. Let's rotate that neck again. There was a lot of pressure in your neck. Let's release all that. And we're back. Sides, ear to shoulder if possible. Apparently, we're supposed to be able to do that. I didn't know that. But like I said, I need a chiropractor. All right. We're going to do that same motion with our feet. Toes to the sky and pull them back. Hold for 5 and point 5. And do that 5 times. So this is round 2. The world stops and all I see is your body in front of me. In front of the TV screen. Try and keep your back straight while you do this as well. You just spotting everything. Let's cruise down Main Street off my Lexus JZ. If you have issues keeping yourself straight, arms behind you to hold yourself is proper. Make sure your fingers are pointed away from you and your elbows are slightly bent so you don't just block them. I think I light a cigarette so we can watch it burn slow. Awesome. All right. So now we're going to go outward. So our ankles are going to push outward. I'm actually going to turn so you can see what I mean. Okay. So ankles push outward. This is resting feet. This is outward. This is inward. So we're going to do that same circuit, 5 rounds, 5 seconds in. Flex those toes. 5 seconds out. Keep those toes flexed. Rest. Back in. This is the second circuit. Make sure you're focusing more on your ankles than your toes, though. Just keep everything engaged. And we're back out. This is circuit 3. No feeling like the highest bidder for I am I from yellow. So finally in line and like a dipper. There we go. And this is circuit 5. Lovely. We're going to do some waves with our toes. So that motion I just did there, we're going to go toes curl, ankles flex, toes curl up, ankles come up. Make sense? Do that 5 times, slowly. So if we're going to count, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lovely. You should feel this in your calves as well. Last one. Awesome. We've done good. Okay. Ankle over knee. Doesn't matter which one you start with. It's totally fine either way. I'm going to push my knee down. Now, if your ankle over knee is fine where you're at, say directly over your knee, and that's your stretch point, keep it there. But if you need a bit more of a stretch, pull up to thigh. Mine's just a little bit above my knee, so I'm going to pull up to thigh, and I'm going to lean forward. Now, when I lean forward, I'm going to go into that space that's already open. Try and keep your legs straight, unless your hips are curving outward, in which case, let your feet do what they need to do. Don't force it. This stretches out the full back of your knee as well as the other knee that is bent. Lovely. Another way to do that is actually laying down, or switching legs, and yet again, behind the knee or above the knee, whichever one is more your flexibility point. Okay. Now be careful with that knee because when you rotate, you don't want your knee to pop. Let's go ahead and let that out. Rotate the ankles, which helps rotate the knees, and out. You guys know I'm going to do a lot of things in fives, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm going to bring one knee back. The other leg is going to stay out. You can keep your foot out in this position if you need to. Some of you guys are probably more comfortable with your ankle being flexed, or pointed and laying on the ground. Unfortunately, my knee won't let me do that, so I keep my foot outward, which is also fine. All we're gonna do is lean back, make sure we ain't showing the goods. You're gonna lay as much as possible. This is my first one, so I'm only gonna lay back this much. Be sure to look up as well, don't look down. Get your full stretch by making sure your spine is straight. Okay, we'll go with the other leg as well. I'm actually gonna turn so you guys can see what this looks like from the back and how I'm leaning. Then this night, oh, it's fun. No, not to crawl. Okay, I go down with one, and then I release and go down with the other instead of just laying back because that's dangerous, especially with your knee like this. This is not a Family Guy episode. Okay, and this leg is always tighter than the other one, so this one's always a little bit more uncomfortable. Now, if you can't go all the way back like this, it's okay to do something like this, or only use one while keeping the other one up. That's okay as well. And when you go down, always go from the opposite side of the leg that you're using. So if you're, it's time for us to switch anyways. If you are in this position, you don't want to go down with this leg or this side first because that puts more strain on your hip and the joint that's already rotating. So you go down with the side that doesn't have to worry about that and naturally allow it to rotate. And this one, I think I might be able to lay down. Yep. I got amnesia. Okay, we come up the same way and switch. I don't know if I can lay down on this one. I'm gonna try it, but yeah, let's see. Oh, oh, did we do it? Yep, we're here. Okay. Knee is slightly off the ground, but that is okay for now because it's forcing it to stretch. If it hurts, do not do that. Go back up. Okay, and the best way to come up, elbow and rotate it out. And always be careful with your legs. Um, that's it for today. Next time, I'll show you guys some stretches I do to get my middle split and to get more flexibility with my hips. For right now, I think those are good starting points for anyone trying to get started with basic stretches that are seated. So, bye for now, and thank you for listening.